Alright, I'm having a bit of a lazy Sunday today, so I am wearing the same things I slept in, plus this. I decided very quickly that I was not gonna do monthly what I read videos because I am very lazy. I decided to try doing for each season, so this is for winter, meaning January and February. I read a total of 6 books in this time period. Not much, but it's fine. The first book I read this year was Red, White and Royal Blue. You know what this book is. If you have ever been on the internet and looked at a book page, you have seen this cover. A lot. Essentially, this is a romance between the fictional son of a fictional US president and the fictional Prince of England. It basically follows them going from rivals who don't really like each other much to boyfriends. That's it. That's the whole plot. Also a lot of sex happens. I swear, if I wasn't holding a physical book, I would think I was reading fanfiction. It just reads very much like a fanfic. Lucky for it, it reads like a decent fanfic and not a yikes type of fanfic. This is such a bad idea, but like the light directly from my window on the brightest books. Let's see if I can fix it. Let's see how long that lasts. I thought this book was mostly good. I kind of preferred McQuiston's other book, One Last Stop. It felt a little less fanficky. I don't know how else to describe this book other than like a pretty good fanfiction of whatever fandom, I don't know. It's good, kind of cute. I don't know really how to analyze this. It's not really a book to review in detail. It's a very kind of cliche, tropey romance. But you know, it's fun. That's the point. It's fun. And this was really fun. So, I'm gonna go get my computer because most of the other books I read throughout January and February were library books. So I'm gonna just get my computer so I actually remember what the fuck I read. So the next book I read was a book on French existentialist philosophy. I'm not going to be talking about that one in detail because I feel like the average viewer would fall asleep. In school, I'm taking a subject that's called religion and ethics, and throughout the first semester we had mostly about philosophy, and that included Simone de Beauvoir, whom I'm already slightly familiar with. And so when I was at the library, I found a book that contained mostly information about Beauvoir as well as Sartre and Camus. I'm still not sure how to pronounce his name. The internet pronounces it Camus, and my mother pronounces it Camus. I don't think either of them are correct. It was really interesting. I wouldn't say what book it was, but it was a Danish one that I found at the library. I think it might have been an old, like, school, university textbook. But yeah, it was really interesting. Parts of it were in Danish, parts of it was in French. This isn't me bragging about language abilities. I'm sorry if I come off as a pretentious dick. So far, that is the one that I put first in my ranking for the year, because I rank the books I've read throughout the year. And we go immediately from the top of that list to the bottom with the next book I read, which was The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. I knew my mom really liked Hemingway, so I kind of stole one of her books. And then after she actually found it in my room and was just like, if you're gonna read Hemingway, at least read one of the good ones. And she was right, this was so boring. Like, it's not that it was bad, like mind-numbingly bad, it was just really boring. I just did not get the appeal behind it at all. There are probably a lot of people who can explain what it actually is about, but essentially it is just a fisher goes on a boat, gets a really big fish on the line, and then the fish pulls him out to sea, and then at some point he kills the fish, and then he turns back. That's the book. That's the story of the book. There's a lot of talking and just the guy thinking. Maybe that's something that's for other people. For me, that just wasn't very interesting. My mom has recommended other Hemingway books for me to read. Next was also a library book, Animal Farm by George Orwell. I read 1984 last year and I really liked it, so I ended up borrowing Animal Farm from the library, and I also really liked it. Not as much, but yeah, still good. Essentially it is, as far as I've been told, a retelling of the Russian Revolution and the Soviet Union, but with farm animals. Basically, the farm animals are sick of being treated like slaves by the humans, so they chase the farmer away from the farm and then re-establish a new society. You can hear me playing with this, can't you? But eventually one of the pigs becomes more and more power hungry and starts to, for example, change the laws to benefit him more. Funny enough, right after I'd finished this book, we started having about the Russian Revolution in my history class, and suddenly I was just like, oh, that makes so much more sense now. Ooh, 3 left. Technically 1, because they're in the same thing. That is Pride and Prejudice and Emma by Jane Austen. I have them in this like one book, like 2-in-1 thing, and it's shiny. And the text is wearing off because I've been holding it. Both of these are good. I think they're around the same amount of quality. I think I might have preferred Emma a little bit more, just because it was easier to tell what exactly the story was immediately. Pride and Prejudice is about a family with 5 sisters and a mother who wants nothing more than to see these sisters married. And the rest is just romantic drama for 3 of the sisters that slightly involves the 4th sister, and then the 5th sister is just kinda there. I don't know why she was put in the book. Meanwhile, Emma is about this, rich Regency era lady who has somehow gotten it in her head that she would be an amazing matchmaker, and so she tries to set up 2 of her friends. It goes about as well as you can imagine. And so after that fails, it just continues on and on, with her trying desperately to find her friend, a husband, and it does not go well. It's just a series of extremely unfortunate events for Emma's friend Harriet. That's the girl she's trying to set someone up with. I don't think there's much to say about them. They're both interesting. I had a lot of fun texting my friend about them. That's one thing I usually do when I read. If I like it, I'll often text a friend about what's happening, just like, oh my god, this is awful, or oh my god, this is amazing. For these ones, both of them were mostly just, oh yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this book, this is great. And then occasionally just a like, wow, the 1800s were fucked up, huh? They kind of were. You know, you're just reading a nice little love confession and then this adult man says, I have been in love with you since you were 13. Why? Why? Why is that a thing that was acceptable? But yeah, other than that, they were great and I liked them. That's it. Those are the books I read. Bye. I love this shelf. So